business would be pecuniary interest regarding the agenda. I don't see anything in camera, so I don't believe there's anything there. The agenda, we've got a couple things there. I'd like to add 7.1 annual Lochenko meeting, March the 5th. And then on 8.3, the constable swearing, we're going to remove that from the agenda to a later date, right?
That is correct. No, it's removed permanently.
Permanent, okay. And then we'll just move up the proclamation from 8.4 to 8.3. Is there any other additions or anything anybody has? If not, can I get a motion to accept that agenda with those changes?
I can accept that.
You, all in favor?
Guess we'll be
carried.
take turns.
Okay. 4.1, adoption of previous minutes, January 28th, regular meeting, February 11th, committee of the whole meeting. Are there any errors or omissions that anybody has in there?
I reviewed them and they seem to be in order, so I would move the minutes.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried. Okay, so then we'll move right on to the 6.1, the RCMP Q3 quarterly report.
Thank you.
Good.
Sorry, I'm late, and Staff Sergeant Angela Gilchrist has become ill, so she couldn't make it. For that as well. So yeah, so I was picked to come in. So. Well, this is what happened. I opened it, and then I got called away. As far as I got.
Nothing worked, right?
Yeah, nothing was working for me tonight. So,
I'm just
yeah.
Would you like a copy?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
I have one here, Dawn. I can get one.
I got it right here.
I think I'm gonna beat you.
I don't think so.
They're on a race.
Come on.
You can, thank you.
You betcha.
So yeah, there's not much I don't know. I didn't read over this very well. So I think you guys can all read this. Is there any, yeah. You guys have any questions regarding this? No? Okay.
You just look pretty.
I know, thanks. That's pretty much what she said. Pretty. Yeah, so the next slide there is just our provincial priorities for the year. So we're coming up on our year end. So for quarter three, we have 114 prolific offender checks. That has been kind of a little bit lower than we expect for quarter three, just because we have a lot of the prolific offenders back in jail again. We've actually did some really good work in quarter two for putting them back in jail, so it's a bit of a quiet time. There's still a few more people we still want to keep an eye on. So yeah, we'll be doing that in the next couple of months here. For priority two, the community engagement, it looks like Staff Sergeant Gilchrist attended a town hall. And I believe that was in the Breton area, if I'm not mistaken. So, and then priority three for traffic for impaired driving. For quarter three, we had 18 check stops for this quarter. And we stopped 134 vehicles, which resulted in 3 roadside sanctions. So that's always a bonus as well. And also at the bottom there, we've had 114 violator contacts. That's regarding police pulling over vehicles and such, right? We've got a few more people that have gotten the radar course, so we should see that number kind of going up. And because now that it's springtime, the roads are a little bit better and it's not so cold out, that number everyone should be going on the rise here. So, all right. And the next slide here. I'm sure what this one is.
Places you guys have gone.
Yeah, looks like that's what it is, right? Yeah. So if you attended the Strawberry Hall Festival to speak and interact with the community. We've also attended the Warburg Halloween community event to judge the costume party. And, I remember the members talking to me about the Halloween costume event. They said it was actually a fun time, and some of the costumes were actually, were pretty neat, so they had a fun time there. And then the Remembrance Day ceremony, which we try to make, out to as many as we can. So,
And Constable Thomas is at that one. In Thursby, Tom.
yeah, is it for the Remembrance Day?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it's Tom.
Yeah, yeah, we try to get them to, we switch around sometimes, unless, a certain venue requests one of us, our members, then we'll try to make that happen, yeah.
And you can still march even at a depot.
Yeah, I'll let them know that.
That's what we do.
And then, yeah, it continues again, Remembrance Day again in, Thorsby, Warburg, Winfield, Alder Flats, and Mulhurst. Those are the ones we were able to attend this year. And it looks like we attended a town council meeting to present the quarterly two reports, and that was in December. And then December 9th, we had a kind of a neat event out in Breton. One of the members took on this role and was able to organize Stuff a Cruiser, which was actually the first time, and I think it was cold out that day too. So, but it was not bad. It was, yep. Just got a few people, and that's always a bonus. So we're going to continue to look at doing that every year, and we might start expanding out to other communities as well. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So this one is about our positions that we have. The only thing I know that we have 2 hard vacancies right now, and one for our support staff. So we're looking to try to fill that. That's that Warburg position. So we put out the advertisement, or just wait to see if there's anybody that's suitable for that position. We have 2 hard vacancies, one in Thorsby, which somebody has taken interest in coming here. So we'll probably find out more in a few months. Just because it's the end of our fiscal year, it tends to kind of slow down and not much will happen until the new fiscal year comes up. So we should be able to hear more around in April for that. And then one in Breton as well. And another person has been identified to come from Ontario to here. So we're just waiting to see if that will work out or not. And then the next page here, we have our Breton and Thorsby stats, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Thursby's on, Thursby's on page 25.
Yeah, so we'll start with 25. We'll go with the Thorsby stats. So I just had a quick look through this one. And I've noticed our assaults are up, and that's most likely due to domestic violence. That seems like it's always a priority for us. So that kind of comes in waves. So that's a tough one to deal with. And then another one that I looked at too is the frauds. The frauds are up again for this quarter from last year, and I think that's just because these people are figuring out so many different ways, and it's very hard to keep up with them. It feels like that 1 minute we think we have a line on them and we're right behind them, and then for some reason they figure out, like in the summertime, I think we had that asphalt driveway scam that a few people were victimized to. And that one, we didn't really find out until we put it all together in the province that it came out of, I think, Saskatchewan. It was the year before it was in Saskatchewan, and then all of a sudden it came to Alberta. So, we're gonna have to do a few things there. We're gonna try to use the rave system, and whenever we find a fraud that's kind of starting to build steam, we're gonna try to use the rave system and put some information out that way. and just let people know that, keep an eye out for this and stuff like that, so.
Corporal, is that part of the traveling system? Because they're always into the construction driveway business. And typically you could spot them, I think, because they always have a leftover asphalt from a job.
Yeah, it's, we only had the two out here, I think it was, 2 or 3. And, from the information that I looked at, yeah, it looked very normal to people. It was, they had a crew come out, they had all the proper machines, but just the way their boss came to the door and presented that, hey, listen, I just did a driveway down the road, I have some leftover stuff, like you said.
Yep.
We can give you a really good deal here. And, yeah, some people just look at it and say, yeah, if you have all the equipment here and all the material here, yeah, go ahead. And then after, when they get close to the end of the project, that's when they start asking for more money.
Yeah.
And then the victims feel like they have to negotiate more money out of it, right? They have to ask, or they're asking for more money, and then somehow they end up getting more money out of them for whatever reason they're using, right?
And the
So,
equipment's never loaded when they show up. It's all just sitting there.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
It's never on a low boy or anything.
No.
It's like they drove it there from wherever, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
From door to door.
So when you go driving-
Yeah, and then like and then the victims sometimes they don't really think about, you know, getting a license plate or seeing what kind of companies on the.
Do they get their driveway done?
Yeah, some of them do, yeah, but it's at a cost that,
It's
yeah, it's ridiculous, right, so, yeah.
They're all cash based, right?
And
You
then-
never know.
Yeah, and then some of the pictures that the owners have taken, they were laying asphalt just over top of grass. So it's not even prepared right, so I guarantee you, when the spring comes around with all the, oh yeah, it's just gonna break. Yeah,
Or they leave the edges undone.
yeah, that's it, yeah.
Or they'll pave right over our infrastructure on the curb and gutter or the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look very good at all, and it's not gonna last.
No.
So.
Andrew has
Sorry.
Sorry, in regards to that paving thing, one of the things that I caught on to is it'll be 2 people that'll be the ones that come to the door to talk to you about the cost.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll talk to you together, and then they'll separate, and then one will talk to you, and the other one will come and talk to you, to
Oh,
try and confuse them.
yeah, and what they're paying, what they're actually paying, right? Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, I just knew that they would start with the cost at the beginning, and then at the end, it would totally change, and then they would give all their excuses on why.
Yeah.
And then the people would just end up paying it, right? So,
I just wonder if in the spring or before spring, maybe with our peace officer, maybe we should do a bit of a JOC, a joint operation or something maybe, or some kind of info session to talk about that.
That would be
Everybody
good.
wants the driveways done, so.
yeah, we can do that, yeah.
We're certainly willing to help you set it up, and we'll.
I would never trust anybody that came to my door.
Oh, no.
My brother-in-law got his driveway done up by Grand Prairie.
Did he get scammed?
I don't recall that he got upcharged.
Oh.
I'll ask.
I wouldn't trust anybody coming to my door for
And my
that either.
brother-in-law would just say,
Yeah.
okay.
And yet I have a $2,000 Kirby vacuum.
Hey, we had one of those too.
Yeah, I would just be, yeah, if someone's coming, it wouldn't be right away. I wouldn't want the job done right away. I would definitely talk about, you know, how it's getting done and, you know, all that kind of
I
stuff.
would check their business.
Yeah, that too, yeah, definitely, yeah, so yeah, so that was the big thing that we noticed, for frauds, and then, another thing too this quarter is, what's that one that just came back again? Oh, I think it's called a grandparents.
Oh, the grandparents scam.
Yeah, is that the one where the kids call and say it's in an accident? Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Or
we've heard that
So
one.
that one's circulating again, yeah.
We've heard that one.
And I think there's a twist to it, and I can't remember what it was now. So, yes.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't a grandpa, it was mom.
Oh,
And it said, hi, Mom. And I said, I think you have the wrong number.
mm,
And they said, Mom, it's me. And you don't recognize my voice because I've got my nose broken. And I said, I'm sorry, dear, you have the wrong number. And they said, Mom, and I said, you have the wrong phone number. Well, then they got really mad at me and said, Mrs. Ross, I should just come over there and beat the effing shit out of you. my goddamn ass. Hung up on him. I was so mad. I thought, come over here. Oh, you'll see what you're gonna get.
But it just goes to show like how quick they are. You think you have them at one point saying, I don't have kids or whatever the situation might be, and they know how to really twist it really that quickly, right? So so that one kind of circulated again, and
There's a telephone going around too.
oh, yes, that's the other one,
I
yeah.
got that one this past week.
Oh, yeah, big
I
time.
was telling Donna just a short while ago that I have one from the CRA.
Mm.
And, they said I owed so much money and I could pay by these gift cards or whatever. And I said, you have to excuse me, I've got an appointment and you can call me back at this number. Give me 10 minutes to get there. Call me back at this number. I gave him the number and it was the RCMP.
Perfect.
Our old folk are smarter than most.
Yeah.
We train them well.
Let's hope your clicks didn't fall for it.
So that's where we're gonna look at trying to get some more stuff out there on Rave, and we're gonna see if there's other methods of getting information out there. And not everybody's on Rave, not everybody's on social media, so we're gonna try to figure something out there.
I know.
Sorry, have you noticed an increase in the email scams for people? Like right now, I'm dealing with Geek Squad is the biggest one that I'm getting.
Oh, okay.
An invoice that I have, and it asks you to open the invoice, and that's usually how they get into your computer system and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. No, I've heard of it before, but no, not lately anyways.
Yeah, so they got the Geek Squad logo and
Oh, okay.
everything
Oh,
on there.
geez.
Yeah.
They're pretty clever. Did you have a question, ma'am?
I was just gonna say that, tell us, when they phoned, they wanted my debit card number or my credit card number. And I just said, I'm sorry, I'm not giving it to you. And they go, well, why not? Your bill's gonna be in half. And I said, are you stupid? I told you, I'm not giving you my damn numbers. I don't give them to anybody. If I use that card, I'm in person standing there using it. Nobody gets it.
We're gonna have to get you to come with
I
us.
love if they argue, I would just hang up.
When we do these presentations, we're gonna have to get you to come with us.
Yeah.
What's your name? I'm gonna put it down, I'm gonna come get you.
We'll tell you where she is.
Okay, perfect.
I'll get her number.
I'll get you to come on with us, yeah. Okay.
Try to waste their time, so it's
Yeah.
less time that they spend on somebody who could help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure do.
Well, you see it on all these social medias now, right, where people have these ways of just getting them for, yeah. They're pretty clever, right? Yeah. So back to the stats here. I don't know if there's anything else that stands out here. Let's see.
Oh, Corporal, just for your assurance, we're busy developing a false alarm bylaw.
Oh, okay.
So, because, fire and you folks as well, have been, your team has been going through a lot of false alarms.
Yeah.
Or whatever, so we're in the process of developing that so that, once it's done, we'll give you a copy, and I know you're the first of bylaws, but if we're not around and you're there, you've got some teeth.
Yeah.
You deal with it, so we're getting way too many.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was in the Duke, we had the bylaw there as
Yeah.
well. I think in the county, Duke County has it.
Yeah.
So we would just forward the files to,
Police officer, to Dion.
to who, sorry?
Dion,
Yeah, Dion, yeah, that's his name, yeah, and then they would, take care of it from
yeah,
there.
no worries.
And it worked, to be honest with you, I did see a dramatic drop, especially the industrial area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah, especially if the first fine is $250.
yeah, that's good. All right. And then I think that's about it. Oh, just roadside suspensions regarding for alcohol, that's up again. I think that's because of a few were off of the check stuff that we had. We just talked about the false alarms there. I think, just trying to check to see if anything else is standing out here on the stats page here.
They're actually pretty stable, like the staff. Is
Yeah.
pretty stable.
Yep. Yeah, I wanna say, I don't know, I think it's because of
That's
the,
the last one.
oh, that,
I gave you a couple extra pages.
oh, okay. That was yours then?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's, I don't know if it's because of the weather, it did kind of tend to get a little bit cold there and a little bit longer than what we usually have, right? So, I think that's why the quarter is a little bit, more stable than it might be if it was, nicer weather outside, so. Yeah.
Criminals don't like to be cold.
No. Sometimes they'll take a chance, but, it doesn't last very long. Is there any questions that I can take back to Angela or anything you guys want to know for next meeting?
Well, I know all of us CAOs in the region were meeting at Staff Angela Friday morning because we're heading into the RTOC Center
Okay, yep.
that's where it is, Acadia, right?
Yep.
And we're gonna check that out. The Acadia, the Real-Time Operations Center is, just for everybody to know, is established to optimize the response to incidents around the province and involves senior officers monitoring policing operations in real time. So we identify criminal record checks and all that sort of stuff to get in. And, it's almost like a tactical ops center, really. And, so we're looking forward to it. We use cutting edge technology to provide the support during emergency situations to our CP officers. So, we're looking forward to it and just to see some of the new technology that helps all of you out in the field. So, one quick question, Corporal, is, are we stable with drugs? Are we, it looks like we kind of are, but what's your?
My feeling on that is, yeah, we are. Like, I haven't, seen a whole lot of it around, the Thorsby area. So I think we are pretty stable. Yeah, that's all I really can say with that. I haven't really, nothing's really popped out at us. That might be of a concern or interesting to know or anything like that. Nothing's come out this way anyways, so thank God.
I'm happy about that. There's nothing worse than drug deaths and drug
Oh, yeah,
overdoses and all that, right?
Yeah.
Is there any more advancement on that drone system that they're looking at bringing out?
To be honest with you, it's kind of up in the air right now. They had a guy.
No, it should be up in the air.
They had a guy, that was kind of running it and was organizing it and trying to get it, up and running, but, I think he went to a different, unit. So now it's kind of just, sitting there waiting to see what happens. They have tested a few. I know there's, pilot projects, I believe there's Red Deer, Fort McMurray, and somewhere down south. But we're not sure, what's gonna happen there. They are training a few more people.
Okay.
Than before. We only had limited, amount of people trained on that, on the drones, and, there's a few more that are getting trained, so I don't know where it's gonna go. So.
Yeah, I think it'd definitely be a good advancement for these areas with giving you guys an extra, giving you guys the eye in the sky without pulling in a helicopter.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to get them to realize as well. The last 2 months, we actually got to borrow a plane from Saskatchewan, I believe it was. And, so they've been flying it around, and we actually made quite a few arrests, off of it. By using the plane. Yeah, did you? Okay, yeah. So, actually, there was 2, times we've used it in our area, and we've, arrested people. So yeah, so we're just trying to gather the information, and then, I think what we wanna do is present it and let them know that, we need something up in the air to make this, to make these things successful, right? So, so either if it's a drone, a plane, a helicopter, we'll see where it goes. So I know they're trying to, I know right now you see it in the news that they're all about the border right now.
Yeah.
So that's why everything else is on hold right now. And, so we'll see what happens. So, but well, yeah, we keep on pushing it anyways, to let them know that we need something. Yeah. Yep. So.
All right, well, thank you very much. Anybody have any other questions? Well, appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you for having me. It was like coming to this one.
thank you.
You guys are always gentle and easy on me.
We'll send a Lisby email tomorrow. We expect to reply by email.
Oh, yeah.
Still want Debbie's number?
I'll track her down. I know where to find some of you guys, so. But thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Have a
All right,
great
thank
day.
you.
Have a good
Yep.
evening.
Thanks. Oh, thanks. Okay, bye now.
Okay, we got a motion to accept the, RCMP quarterly report for information.
I can make that motion.
You, all in favor? That is carried. All right, go to, 7.1, Andrew Bochenko, do you wanna talk about that, Donna, or?
I will, defer, your worship to our legislative clerk. She's in contact with Mr. Bochenko's office. All right, she has the details. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I sent out a meeting request a while ago back now, and she just got back to me this morning. So she had offered up March 5th for a, late supper, and I just kind of put on the note to Mr. Mayor, for maybe 5:30 p.m. And so I just wanted to follow this at council and see if that's okay before I get back to her tomorrow morning.
Works for me.
Yeah, it looks for me.
I know we're missing some folks, so
Yeah.
we'll have to send an email, but too bad.
Serve up the luck.
Okay,
Bad attitude.
and then, you'll make the arrangements there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, create an agenda.
Yeah.
you have a location? Here?
It would be at the family restaurant, in that back room,
Okay.
in the bar area. So if anybody has any last minute additions to submit for, an agenda, ideally as early as possible tomorrow morning, I want to get back to her right away and then, get back to the restaurant right away with the numbers, so.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Motion, your worship.
Do you want a motion to,
Yes, please.
accept
Both of
that?
them LA.
Okay.
I'll move the dinner meeting on March 5th at 5:30 PM with Andrew Bochenko.
Thank you, all in favor? Carried. All right, 8.1, returning officer swearing. City Donna, go ahead.
For sure, under the Local Authorities Election Act, returning officer must be sworn in prior to June 30th, so we're well ahead of schedule, to preside over the upcoming 2025 municipal election. Due to the new intent to run documentation that the Local Authorities Election Act has required, we have candidates that may want to register early, so we had planned on this meeting to have the returning officer sworn as a precaution. So part of the returning officer's job is to appoint a presiding deputy, which will be Cindy Van Leest. There's no need to appoint a constable because under the Municipal Government Act and the Provincial Police Procedures Act, we have a problem at a polling station. We call police or peace officers, they are compelled to be here right away. That's under their act, so there's no, they can't say what's the problem, they are compelled to attend as soon as possible. Of course, it's returning officer's job to appoint the voting stations, designate at least 2 deputies to work at each voting station, one who should be designated as the presiding deputy who's in charge of the voting station, and provide for the supply and delivery of ballots, ballot boxes, instructions to electors, and other necessary supplies. And of course, we have information now on the website, so everybody's watching that. Give notice of nominations, which is in September. Receive and process nominations, declare acclamations, notice of elections, and do all the things necessary for the conduct of an election, and then keep all the ballot boxes until 90 days after an election in case there is a tie or a contestation to the minister about someone that is either unfit, someone contests an elector, or someone drops out. So a returning officer has all the duties and powers of a presiding deputy and may delegate any of the powers to a constable, presiding deputy, or deputy may impose conditions and restrictions on the delegation. So administration recommends it through a motion of council that the CAO, Donna Toner, be accepted and sworn in.
Okay, do we have to do the official swearing in, like, have you got a procedure to go through, or?
No, it's basically, they don't have any prescribed forms, do they, Jesse? Do you have them there? You got a form, there's a prescribed form.
Oh, no. Sorry, I got messed up by this. Okay. We're okay. All right, this is Donna's.
Donna, do you have to go to training, or is there online manuals that you just
No, there's training, we have to go under the local authorities election act, because we change it every election. And that's just normal. When I used to teach it around the province, we did all the training, so. Yes, so, this goes to Mr. Mayor to execute it for me, Jesse.
So I think you should put your name on it first.
Want me to come over there?
So who goes for training, you and Cindy, or?
No, myself and Jess.
Oh.
Okay, I do have to take the oath, sir. Okay.
And you all.
And do all the work.
Okay.
There's the oath right there.
Okay.
I, Donna Tony, do solemnly swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability, execute according to law the office of returning officer. That I will not communicate to any person any information obtained in an election or in the course of carrying out my duties as to the candidate or candidates for whom a person has voted, or at a vote on a bylaw or question as to whether a person has voted for or against a bylaw or question. That where applicable, I will not communicate to any person any information obtained in the course of carrying out my duties as a returning officer, and that I will in all respects maintain and aid in maintaining the absolute secrecy of the votes of the God.
Thank you. And then as sworn in, I'm gonna do the commissioner votes here.
That is correct.
The town of Thorsby. Okay,
25th. 2525.
I would have thought there would have been a discussion with that commissioner thing you did.
The statement that Daryl should say.
No, I'm talking about that.
Oh, later.
There's no in-camera today.
Yeah, there is.
Daryl's
there a camera?
Oh, is there? Oh, I thought
There's
Daryl
no
said there was.
water, yeah.
Yeah.
No, there
Later.
is no pecuniary interest. There's no pecuniary interest.
Oh, okay. So I was like, oh.
Right? Okay. There we go. That's the work. Do we have another prescribed form?
Yes, and this is Cindy, and this one does not need a commissioner vote.
No, it doesn't. This is
okay, I'll just get a motion to, for this one, right?
yeah, that is correct.
Okay. The motion to, for the swearing in of Donna,
I can make that motion.
all in favor? Very nice. We should have done that before we done that, I guess. But that's all right.
That's okay, well, we'll do it this time.
Okay.
So our next, your worship, is presiding deputy returning officer swearing and, performing the duties specified in this or any other act. And it's my honor to appoint presiding deputy, which is Cindy Van Leest. The returning officer for the 2025 election, myself, will be appointing Chief Financial Officer Cindy Van Leest as the presiding deputy returning officer for the 2025 election. The duty of the presiding deputy returning officer for the Local Authority Election Act is as follows. Presiding deputy shall carry out the duties of a presiding deputy under this act and any other duties that a returning officer assigns to the deputy. Cindy will be in charge of all the ballots, and as they're voted, ballot counts, ballot secrecy, and ballot security. Also to set the voter station up and the procedures required to carry out voting election or illegal election on voting day, and that's all the prescribed signs, etc. I'm recommending it's your motion of council that Cindy be appointed as the presiding deputy returning officer, and with council's resolution that she filled out the prescribed form as set up by the local authorities election up to that office.
All right, thank you.
It is a lot of work.
You like to, motion to,
I'll make them.
All right.
You don't have to sign it.
You don't have to sign that one?
No.
Okay.
I just get to talk, I guess.
Okay.
Do I have to stand up?
Yes, ma'am.
I, Cindy Van Leest, solemnly state that I will diligently, faithfully, and the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of presiding deputy returning officer. I will communicate to any person any information obtained in an election or in the course of carrying on my duties as to the candidate or candidates for whom a person has voted, or at a vote on a bylaw or question as to whether a person has voted for or against a bylaw or question. Where applicable, I will not communicate to any person any information obtained in the course of carrying out my duties as a deputy, substitute, or constable, and I will, in all respects, maintain and aid in maintaining the absolute secrecy of the vote.
So help me God. Thank you.
Amen.
All right.
Nope, that's good. Thank you.
Okay, done. Okay, moving on to 8.3, proclamations for Q1. Go through them, Donna?
We certainly can, your worship. Basically, this falls within Q1 of 2025. Last year's proclamation list, as well as recognized days of the Alberta government. There are a few proclamations to be made for Q1 of 2025. The majority are coming in March, but these are the ones that are now. Black History Month in February, Canadian Agricultural Safety Week, March 16th to 22, and Alberta Francophone Month, March 25. We recommend that council through motion accept these proclamations.
Thank you.
How do you establish which ones are chosen? Because I just looked it up for my own interest, and there was more that were named.
We kind of did through, your worship, through Councillor Tracy, we did about a year ago, we all talked about it in council, and we made the list. If you find that there's more that you want that pertain, a lot of times we'll pick the provincial, definitely the federal, and any special ones or any ones that the government wants. But this list, we're just carrying on from the last council, but if you have some that you would prefer, we can always.
The other ones that just popped up as a quick pick here were Eating Disorders Awareness Week, usually in February, International Women's Day in March 8th, Family Literacy Week, which is often in January and early February, and Mental Health Awareness Week.
That's
So-
in February, right? Health.
Just for consideration, I don't know if we want to add those.
When's mental health week?
February.
It varies, it says.
It's up to council, we can certainly add them to the minutes and to the proclamation. Say, your worship, it's entirely within council's purview.
I just was curious, I know we did review different ones that were going to be classified, but I just didn't remember why these ones were selected.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Well, it's up to you, if you guys want to add them, we can add them, it's just simply add them. It's up to you guys. Somebody wants to make the motion to that effect, we will do it.
And these will be carried forward to, next,
They'll be on the list for 2026. They don't.
like the mental health week for sure, I would say.
Because it's not really a big production to add them, right?
No.
So we've got Black History Month, Eating Disorders Awareness Week, which is usually in February, and then International Women's Day, which is March 8th, and Family Literacy Week, which is over, and Mental Health Awareness Week, which varies. So I would move that we include those into our proclamations.
Okay, all in favor? All right, great, done. All right, bylaws and policy, 9.1, boring bylaw 2025-01, second and third readings.
Your worship, I'll turn that over to the CFO.
Okay.
Okay, so this is borrowing bylaw 2025-01 for second and third reading. The January 28th regular council meeting, we passed the first reading of the borrowing bylaw. The per the Municipal Government Act regulations, the bylaw was then advertised publicly for 2 weeks in the Community 39 newspaper on the 31st and February 7th edition. No feedback or concern was received in any form by the public as of February 21st. So this is just, we have $1 million line of credit that we carry forward every year to help with cash flow when it's getting tight, and we just require it for the bank, actually, so.
All right, can I get a motion for the second reading for boring bylaw 2025-01?
I'll make the motion for the second reading.
Okay, all in favor? Can I get a third motion for the third reading in boring bylaw 2025-01? Kelly, all in favor? That is carried. Okay, And then, 9.2, the business license bylaw 2025-02, the same thing, second and third readings. Do you wanna make any comments on that, Bill?
Your worship and council, there's been no changes since we looked at it at committee of the whole.
Okay.
I think we shared, the changes that we've made, so we have no further additions.
Okay, thank you. Can I get a motion for the second reading of bylaw 2025-02? All in favor? That is carried. Can I get a motion for the third and final reading for bylaw 2025-02?
I will make that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Done. All right, administration 11.1, variance report for January 25. Yes, well, Cindy.
Yeah, the first month. Pretty exciting. So this month we are at 3.51% of our total revenue as compared to 3.62 last year, and 5.73% of expenses as compared to 6.17 last year. So
Yeah,
saving money.
not much to say. You
No,
gotta
I mean,
go
it's
out.
been a month, so
We've had one, how many breaks did we have this?
let's not talk about that.
One in the new year.
Well, we had a water and then we had a sewer just last week, so
All right.
don't say that word, it's a
Oh,
swear word.
sorry. Anybody have any other questions regarding the variance report? No? Can I get a motion to accept?
Oh, yes, oh, we should have that,
Yeah,
but I can talk about it right now.
we'll put it,
We'll
yeah,
put it in.
we should have put it on the agenda. What's the procedure for this? We should go on the agenda.
What would it go under,
It will go
new
under-
business or old
Yes,
business?
new business.
8.5?
Point 8.4.
8.4.
Oh, right, because we took out 8.4.
8.4.
Do you want to go back to 8.4? So I need a motion to amend the agenda.
Yeah, if I may do a point of order, your worship of council, apologies from administration. We may go back in and enter into the agenda. 8.4, capital project dash truck.
Okay,
Thank you, your worship, and council for being indulgent for that error.
can I get a motion to agenda
I'll make the motion to
8.4? Added, thank you. All in favor?
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, now we can
Now we
talk
can
about
talk.
it. So last week, right, Heather? Last week, the truck that we have, broke down and it's, in the shop and it's going to cost $10,000 to fix it. The truck's not even worth that much.
Correct.
The front differential.
The front diff casing actually exploded on the truck.
So we did have a new truck in the budget for 2026, but we need to move that to 2025 because we have no truck.
Right.
So we have no sanding truck, we have no,
We have a sanding
Oh.
truck, but that's it, we don't have a truck to reuse the plow or any of that stuff.
So we were looking for the truck in 2024. We never found one.
no, yes, we were looking for a
So we
used
got that
truck.
other
So then we put a new truck, like a brand new truck into 2026.
Correct.
But we want to move that new truck into 2025. Andrew, I'll let you talk to the price and all that stuff, because you're the one that went and talked to them yesterday. So we want to, it's a 2025.
It's a 2025 GMC 3500 diesel.
Mhm.
So it's definitely a lot more rugged than a gas model truck. So it'll handle the weight of the plow and carrying our water totes and potsy around and stuff like that. What else? Sorry, grab my paperwork here.
The total ask that we need is 95,000, which we would use MSI for.
Yeah.
But to buy a used truck, I don't think, like, this truck will last us.
Yeah, buying a used truck will potentially put us in the same risk.
Yeah.
We're not sure how these trucks are driven prior to us getting them. We can do an inspection all we want, but, you know, if it's been driven hard on the back roads, running for the oil industry and stuff like that, it's
capital item and it's covered, we're gonna get it reimbursed through the MSI, so.
So then what are we taking out of,
From the budget?
yeah,
Probably nothing, we're just gonna have this truck and have the grant.
okay.
We're just gonna move it forward a year,
Yeah.
because it's grant funded
Yeah.
in 2026, so it'll just be grant funded in
Yep.
2025.
Ask the council to approve the moving, the adjustment of the capital budget from 2026 back, or, yeah, 2026 to 2025 for this truck.
Yeah, because we need a truck, like, we're down a truck.
And would you get extended warranty?
Well, then we probably need more than 95.
Yeah, and what it would be. We'd have to check, Andrew.
Are they giving you a deal on it, or are you just going in and paying full?
Oh, no,
price?
Andrew went
No.
out.
I went in and I actually talked to the owner of Schwab's. His son is now managing the shop, and him and I sat down and had a good discussion about it. We got a discount of $10,000 off the truck.
It'll be equipped in the back, with proper toolboxes and everything, so there's not tools all over the place, everything will be organized, and there's a side-out toolbox that'll go in the box. They'll have a cover on it, so you've got your extension cords and all that sort of stuff in there, and it'll hold our hot seat, which I'm sure you've seen it work in the last 2 days, trying to thaw out these storm drains, so we can stop the water in town, that's not always easy. And it will hold, our big totes, and it will hold our sander.
Or-
No,
no.
it'll be the plow truck.
It's a plow truck, I'm
So
sorry.
what have you been using for a truck right now? Nothing?
Well, the boys have been using the Ford, but it's got the sander in the back, so
Yeah.
garbage collection is not the easiest for
Correct,
them.
so I mean, we're without a truck, so we have to have it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense to spend $10,000 on an old truck that's over worth it.
Yes.
Okay,
No.
any other questions on that?
So- How much do you think extended warranty would be?
Maybe another 5 at least.
At least 5, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Like on a
probably
regular
It was over 3 on my car.
Yeah.
5
5
or
or
6.
8, yeah,
So
between 5
maybe we
and
should go 105,
Yep.
approve 105, and then
Yeah.
I give this 10 grand to work with. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna cost that much.
Maybe they'll, coffin deal a little bit more with the warranty.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
good point.
Because I'd rather ask for more and not use it than have to come back again and say, oh, by the way.
Need another $5.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right,
Make a
so
motion to move 105 capital out of,
somebody wanna
and
make
take it
that
from
motion?
MSI grant.
I can make that motion.
in favor? Look after it nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably the
I'll be
first new-
watching.
Probably the first new vehicle. I've seen ever.
I mean, it's, you have to have something.
I got a bit of anxiety.
We could do a take your council for a ride day if you want.
Yeah.
Trade.
It'll be the new parade vehicle.
We'll have heated seats if it gets cold again.
Okay, anything else, Cindy?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, I guess I also need a motion to accept the variance report for January. That is correct.
I can make that motion.
All in favor? That's carried. All right, that concludes the agenda part, and this, got some camera again. Any public has any comments?
Yes,
Go ahead.
stop it there.
She's already said her piece.
General concerns and clarifications, basically. It came to my attention that sidewalks are, residents are being asked to clear the sidewalks. Now, one particular sidewalk I know of, and I nearly broke my neck on it, they can't clear the snow off it because the slabs are all broken, so they're up and down all over the place. If you use the shovel, you can get it jarred because if you push your shovel against something that's sticking up. The snow plow, the snow blower, can't do that because the condition of those sidewalk slabs break the base on the snow blower. This has been mentioned to Public Works before, and was told it's going to be looked after. It still hasn't been looked after. You know what? Why not?
Tell them to dig that slab of broken up cement up, dig it out and throw it on the road. Then people won't trip on it.
When you would be liable, you can't touch public property.
Where is this?
Maybe if you take it
Yeah,
out
Andrew, you want to
and
comment on
bring
this?
it in here,
So, Dayon and I and, CAO Donna have been working on this. We sent Dayon out to go and, enforce the clearing of the sidewalks. There was letters sent out to everybody, and then he's to come back to me with the really bad ones, because I'm very well aware that there's a lot of sidewalks that have sunk in and that are, there's been shifting and stuff like that. And the biggest part on our end is we don't want somebody to just neglect trying to remove the snow.
Yes.
So the sidewalks that have sunk in, the sidewalks where all the water drains to, we're not expecting the residents to go spend thousands of dollars on salt to try and get rid of that. We do have a sand pile, that is accessible to the residents, that it's free to come pick it up. You can throw it down instead of putting salt down, just so that there is that traction there. But the biggest thing is trying to get onto the people that are just avoiding clearing their sidewalks.
Yeah. What he's been doing lately is the grass verge between the road and the sidewalk zones. He's been clearing a pathway along there, so people that walk along the main road can walk on that part without getting bogged down in snow. And he doesn't touch the part that's all broken.
Okay.
But he's making an effort, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. And we're very well aware of that. We did, like I said, our biggest thing is we just wanted to get on top of the people that are completely neglecting trying to clear sidewalks.
Yeah. The other one was, I don't know if it's in the bylaw or not, is signs put on fences on residential property. I know of 3, possibly more.
One is mine.
Yes.
Okay, just making that clear.
Is that in the bylaws that they're allowed to do that? I just had a thought that it,
What kind of signs are they?
One's a banner, one's a flag sign on a fence.
So seeing this as a general conversation, may I make a comment to that?
Yeah.
So, this is how I look at stuff, okay? The town's trying to promote business.
Yes.
Okay? So the town has to have some give and take on what they can do, still following their bylaws and letting everybody else fall into place. So I'm a retired developer, okay? I'm just doing renovations on the side, blah, blah, blah. I paid out my license, which the town requires.
Yes.
In my opinion, when I purchased that license, and there's other things to go with it because I'm in a residential area and stuff like that, okay? So how do I advertise my business? And the town wants to have a business, stay in town.
Well,
No sense in going to the media center on the corner, because nobody reads that anymore. There's no sense going on Facebook, because you get every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Yes, and yeah, and 20 excuses and everything else. As a business owner, okay, which I've gone by the book, okay, where my sign is, and I've got no issues with it, okay? Do you not think that is a smart businessman to advertise right up front?
absolutely, but I'm sure there are other people, other residents that have wanted to do this in the past.
Then they should come to a meeting,
Absolutely, I totally agree with that. I have people come to me and say, Irene, I've got this problem. When you go to the council meeting, will you talk about it? And I say, I don't have to talk about your problem. problem, come and voice your concerns yourself. I can't do it for you. I'm sure they'll tell you, I'm really quiet these days.
When you're attending that meeting, then I know you are ready.
She is really quiet these days.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, my business in 42 years being in business, before you can come to me with a problem, I have an answer because I've gone through it, I've researched it legally, mentally,
Yeah,
physically,
and that's it.
you know. So I look at, and I went through council, I talked to the CFO and the people in the council here as well about the sign. So that's what I'm looking at, okay? As a businessman, to me, that would be very smart because of where I'm located, for one.
Yes.
Okay? Because I get the traffic through it.
Uh-huh.
So I've gone through the proper process prior to even moving into town, because we had an issue with the fence that I was gonna put up with. Okay? So even prior to doing that, I've done my research, gone through your bylaws, looked at them left, right, and center, and back and forth. The other people I won't speak for because that is not my business, but I would say as a businessman, they should be coming to town, not having it work to town council and asking and talking to the town.
That's right, and if you know, if you do all this, sort of work that you're doing.
Yep.
And that's good, and if everybody acted in that way.
But not everybody's the same, not everybody's the same.
So Donna, what does the bylaw say?
So I think that's a Tracy has a comment. Oh,
So that's mine, she
Yeah.
used.
That's okay, that's great.
I do have questions and concerns also about the bylaw, and I was wanting to review it as well, because I know in the past, in the empty lot just south of Esso, I think it's Esso's lot, there used to be signs posted there for businesses, and then the previous CAO said, nope, the signs are not allowed to be there, they all must be removed. We lost businesses out of this town because they were not allowed to have their sign there. So I'm getting mixed messages and confusion and trying to understand it myself. So I understand where Irene's question is coming from. And yes, your house is residential, so that's where I'm confused how it becomes a business.
Because I went through the town process.
Yeah, and I understand you did speak with.
In regards to that empty lot you're talking about, that's a privately owned lot. So the guy that owns that, if he's allowing people to put signs on that, that's his business between him.
And he did.
But that's his business between him and council. So for somebody else to just step into it, that's great.
Mhm.
But where I do take offense, because I've heard this for the last week or so, okay? I went through the proper procedures, crossed my T's, dotted my I's,
I
got my
trust
OKs,
you did, I'm not
paid all
saying you
my money.
didn't.
But yeah, there was a big schmozzle
When people.
before we got in.
Businesses
Yeah.
left this
Yeah, well,
town
that's prior. Now
because they
that you
weren't
guys got a
allowed to
new
have a
council,
sign
You've
up
got a
there.
lot of the stuff updated, properly done, documented.
I don't know that our sign bylaws changed since that time. So, like I say, it's just confusion and just trying to get the facts straight to understand this.
You must admit that lot looks a hell of a lot better now with all them signs gone. It looks terrible.
Yeah, it's definitely not a personal attack. It's a,
What's changed?
yeah, just trying to understand.
Well, you're a counselor, so you're entitled to all the documentation, all the bylaws. So
Yeah,
You
no,
need to
and I was
know,
going to
you should be
investigate it a little bit
researching.
more.
I can
But this
answer that
is
one
open
very
right now.
quickly. That,
So-
unfortunately, that was a
Donna, what do you got, you got a comment on that?
previous CAO and the businesses. Is how that came up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what bylaw does it fall under?
it's a sign bylaw. I don't know.
It's the land use bylaw.
Oh, land use, yeah.
So, you wish for council and gallery, I will clarify. First of all, the first sign that you're referring to on the south side of town is the lone wolf sign that's on the fence. That is a banner. That was here way before I got here. obviously it's affixed properly, and, I'm not worried about it, to be quite honest with you.
Woodry's old place is.
Yeah, on the corner,
On Woodry's old place there?
yeah, on the corner,
It's on the corner by Arctic Spot.
yeah.
Yeah, banner, right, Scott has a banner on his,
Been there for years, I'm not really.
Been there for probably 5 years at least, yeah.
Yeah.
And I never understood why it was there.
Yeah.
Because it's on a residential offense.
Yeah, well, let me clarify that for you, okay? Happy to do so. So the second issue is, I don't typically bother with the little signs that go up if they're advertising the Pancake Day, the Lions Pancake Day, or some little thing is going on. I'm not gonna ask them to fill out a sign permit and all that, because they're there and gone, or a little market, or whatever. I don't worry about that. I think that's proper, good business acumen. When Kevin came to us about his sign on the fence, his sign is legal, and it's lawful under the bylaw. And we're working on doing a new land use bylaw. We should have it ready for you folks to take a look at in April, because I'm busy with it. But the 2017 bylaw does not comment on wall signs on fences. So a wall sign, and I've read this very well, but a wall sign means a flat sign placed flat and parallel to the face of the building so that no part projects more than 1 foot from the building. But it doesn't talk about fences, and a lot of land use bylaws do. Okay, so it's silent on the fence. So a wall sign also, they're restricted to the first story of a building in the R1, 2, 3. So Kevin's allowed to have a sign in R1, 2, and 3 because that's residential. Wall signs shall not project more than 4 meters horizontally from the building face. Okay, illuminated wall signs shall be permitted. That's fine if Kevin was going to put it on his house. But there is nothing in the bylaw to tell me that he cannot have a sign, a flat sign, on the outside of a fence. And this bylaw hasn't changed since it was passed in 2017. So is there maybe an omission? We've got it flagged so that we can have a discussion about it when we come into the new land use bylaw. So we can be mindful of it, but not punitive about it, right? Because there's that. Not only that, Kevin's fence, all those fences along that road, around 778, they could have fences like Kevin's because it's against the highway. So it's really a noise attenuation fence, which is lawful. So there is nothing in the land use bylaw that precludes or prohibits a sign on there, and it's a small sign. We wouldn't allow one to go up bigger. We use the same dimensions for a wall sign, but there's nothing telling me I can prohibit him from putting one on a fence. So the sign that Kevin has on his fence is the dimensions of what a wall sign would be.
And does it address anything about the empty lot by us? So there, if a sign, somebody wants to put a sign there.
That's a 4x8, that's a different kind of sign, that's not a wall sign.
That sign that the owner has there, is that what you're referring to on the corner, or are you referring to people plunking signs?
If massage therapy wants to put their sign up there.
Yeah, like we used to have in Morinville. Temporary signs, usually you can have 2 temporary signs not exceeding a total square area of 9 meters squared. You have to have copy on both sides of temporary signs. Shall not exceed 6 meters in height. Temporary signs shall be moved by the advertiser within 15 days of the completion of the event, sale, or work. So yeah, temporary signs is page 70G.
No, it's for a business.
But if it's
If
on
Kevin
property,
wanted to put his sign across in that empty lot as well.
Well, I can, it's not my property, so I don't
Well,
know
if
what.
Esso said, go ahead, Kevin, you can do
There's
that.
nothing to do with
it's
that.
not
It's
Esso's property.
It's a private.
It's a private organization.
Individual.
It's a private person.
Yeah.
It's the guy from Kelmar that owns the burger bar.
All right,
So what he would have to do is he and the person who went to put the sign up would have to come and see me for a
That's what
temporary
I'm
sign.
trying to get to.
I'm just trying to walk the
Yes,
steps.
yes.
So they have to come and see me. Now, if because they're nonprofit, or they're not nonprofit, right? They're advertising stuff. I'm really not gonna get excited, I'll be honest with you, because we have to balance. If the Lions Club wants to put their pancakes up for there, you guys are doing an event, Community of Bloom.
you're okay with
put a sign in.
temporary?
Absolutely. I don't have a problem with that, because even on Hankin Street here, they put them on the boulevard. I don't have a problem with that because it's quick 1-2 days and they're gone. They just want to advertise. That is my discretion under the bylaw to do that. If it's going to be there longer than 15 temporary sign that the owner and the advertiser would have to come see me about. But I wasn't here when all those signs were, whatever, you know, I think you
They made them
recall.
take them all down, and I know what you're referring to, like, what is it, Celtic, massage there, they left the town because they made them take their sign off, and now they're leaving the town.
Celtic Dot and River Valley.
But, you know, okay, so, just a comment on that. Signs are always a tough thing in any municipality, I get that. But there's ways of chatting about it, there's ways of saying, let's talk about these signs, let's see what you wanna do, is there a better place for it right now? Is it, you know, would you rather put it on your business, or would you rather put it here? It's always about conversation, we don't go to no here first right away, we go to let's figure it out. The signs that people are posting on the power poles, we rip those off, we're aware of them, and we're watching them, that guy does that every spring that you mentioned. They come down, we do, you're not supposed to put things on a power pole anyway. And if it keeps on, there might be a little call to Fortis for enforcement action. We'll get a message from Fortis, because you cannot staple anything to a power pole. So, that was about conversation, but I think if I restricted every little sign that wants to go up for a small event for 1 or 2 days, I don't think it's good business, to be quite honest with you.
Well, I know you're not the previous CAO, but that was the rule
Yeah,
that seemed
no,
to be in place
yeah.
then. So I didn't know there was changes, so I just assumed that the rules are as they were, so
No.
that's what I'm trying to.
Yeah,
My understanding is this hasn't changed, this is.
No, it hasn't changed,
same bylaw.
Same
but
bylaw,
just that
it's previous
owner
bylaw.
and those people didn't come ask council.
Well, no, they did discuss it with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was,
Yeah.
or there was a big
I just
issue.
interpret it a little differently,
Yeah.
right? I just look at what is the purpose of what you want to do? And is it going to be in the way? Is it going to impede traffic? Is it going to impede sightlines?
So the answer is still come talk to the CAO.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Regarding any bylaw, you're supposed to be coming in and talking to the CAO or getting a hold of town council.
And I mean, you
Town
would need a
administration,
sign
sorry.
permit, would you not?
Well, they would need a sign permit if they're advertising their business like that and wanted to put it there. We would discuss sign permit then, but then when the sign permit comes, we're going to have to compromise on where we want to put it, because that may not be the best place to put it. But any of the nonprofits advertising something for 1 or 2 days, like salmon and Monica stuff and all that, I don't have an issue with that, because the signs are up and gone. And they, to me, how do you promote community awareness and community spirit if you're beating on the nonprofit up for signage? So I used my discretion in the point, in the bylaw with respect to enforcement.
The dog for sale is still up there this
And,
morning.
Dan hasn't had time to get it today.
I pulled it off there twice now.
Yeah,
I know which one you're talking about,
Yeah.
Patrick, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
This goes on all the time. I'm in tomorrow. I think I'm gonna phone Fortis. See.
Well, it's at the base of the pole now.
Yeah.
Is his number on there? Like, if,
Yeah.
Yeah,
why don't we just call him?
he knows better. Believe me, we called him last year. He knows better. So now we might have to look at, defacing private property, because those told the Fortis is great. So we'll look at it that way. I get he's breeding dogs, I get it. The peace officer has no sense that it's a puppy mill or anything, so, because we checked that too. But.
Same thing, it's a business, he's advertising, and he could use a newspaper or.
Oh, yeah, for sure, but people, yeah, he can use that. People always take the low
I'll
road.
build it for him too.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know where he lives, but I see his signs in Edmonton also.
Yeah,
And it's the same artwork, so you know it's the same
you know,
guy.
it's the same guy. So, no, it's a good discussion. I certainly appreciate the discussion. It's not that easy, and, there's different latitudes for different things, but we're going to be, we've got lots of edits to do in this particular bylaw that Liz and I are hoping to have first draft ready for you in April.
Thank you. Irene, does that?
No, I asked one.
All right. Okay, anything else? Oh, you have one more?
Derelict buildings, I brought this up before. There's a lot 3 doors away from me that has a big old brown shed. The lot is empty.
Is that the one where there's a truck or something parked in there?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Like an open barn shed.
Yeah, we know,
it doesn't look very nice.
we know.
They
could have lived there for a while.
We're gonna have to look at, I know that one, we're gonna have to look at Dangerous Building.
And there's that one, and there's the, I think it's yellow, a little yellow shed, next to the blue house on the corner.
Marie Cadeau's houses.
Yeah.
Is that same street?
Yeah, on 47th, yeah.
Probably on 40.
It's got all black mold, it's been empty for a number of years.
Okay.
Full of black mold and,
Oh, yeah. We've got tax sales and that's coming up for this year and next year too, there's all those kind of issues too. I know Dion's got a list of things he's been working on, so I'll double check with him. These, site leases take time, and it's frustrating to you, it's frustrating to me, they take time. We definitely don't want to be, we're dealing with squatters and stuff right now, and that's taken a long time, that doesn't happen overnight either. So, but we're following the rules.
So noise bylaw,
Yeah.
what is the time frame?
That's what you're talking about, West Tower, right?
Yeah, 'cause I'm getting revenge on them. I can't wait.
Then I'm not telling you anything.
now Donna, no drop.
If
Is it from 11 to 7?
the, I don't know if the bylaws probably will just paraphrase, okay? If the noise has been previously sanctioned by the CAO and the bylaw, in other words, is it a senior's home, right? Is it a hospital? Do ambulances have to get in, those kinds of things? Then the noise can go all night. You can't do anything about it if they have to clear
I
right away,
understand.
and you know that. So, letters being prepared for West Tower that their contractor has to, they could start as early as 7 in the morning. They can't start any earlier unless West Tower proves to me there's an emergency situation. In other words, if they have some kind of big shipment going out, that they need something plowed or whatever, they have to arrange that ahead of time.
That's a parking lot for
I know.
the front, and nobody parks there.
I know.
Today, the guy showed up at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, this afternoon?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're getting a letter.
and they're gone at 4:30. So why do you need anybody there at 3 o'clock in the morning? So they start work some days, 5 o'clock in the morning, banging around. Guess what, bylaw officer? Tit for tat. If I have to put up with snow removal in the winter, they're putting up with being quiet in the summer.
Debbie, I've got another cane. We can go out there at 3 o'clock in the morning. They know you don't.
You ladies behave yourselves. They're getting a letter, Debbie, that's the answer. I know. I just had to watch and see, and we've got the letter almost prepared, and it will go up this week.
And it says, no putting snow on the boulevard. Where is that snow? Oh, on the boulevard in a big pile, right on the corner of my street,
By your house or by the end?
Really?
by the alley. That driveway, you come down the street and turn right away into the alley, and that parking lot is from wherever their boulevard
Oh, yeah.
starts, right up to their building,
Yeah.
and they scrape that and they pile it on. I bet it's taller than I am.
So he's not piling it in his yard.
No,
Yeah, there's a section 93A2 of the Environmental Protection Act precludes you from putting snow off your property onto something else.
Are you talking that section between the alleyway and 50th Ave?
yes.
That's their property.
There you go.
There's a boulevard there, is there not? We
No,
had
that's-
to,
That's their property.
there's a boulevard. We had to, before we built our house, we had to have 25 feet in from the curb before we could start our house.
Yeah,
So that's boulevard, and we have to look after it because it's town land. And it's the same as my mobile home,
yeah.
so it's town land. They could scrape that snow and dump it in their yard and let the trees have it instead of piling it up like that.
If it wasn't their land, they could be charged under the Environmental Protection Act with a $400 fine. So anyway, the letter's getting ready to go, Debbie.
Oh,
I hadn't forgotten about it.
I'm hoping we have a big blizzard. into March.
Just about done. It's
Before you
melting,
close
the
this
pile's
meeting-
getting lower now because it's melting.
Mr. Mayor, before you close this meeting, I've got one more comment,
Yes, go ahead.
and, it's not actually a comment, it's a question for Councilor Tracy. Do you believe in bringing small business to town?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm questioning what I'm questioning because the businesses that we lost due to the sign
Removals,
removal. So it's like, I'm trying to understand
why people aren't
what
allowed.
are the rules in
There was,
the bylaw.
before this administration.
I realize that, Mr. Mayor, I realize that, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, there was a real.
I guess my point here is, everybody in this room knows that I'm gonna be running for council. And my biggest point is, hate to say the word attack somebody, but, as a councilman, you've got it all there. You guys should be doing your research and stuff before you bring a subject to council.
No, and she brought it to council.
Yeah, when it was brought to us just now,
I
we
said I
don't.
hadn't had a moment to review it, and I was going to review it to see where we were at with that.
Just in the conversation that we had, it didn't sound like you knew about the bylaw, is my point.
I don't know the details of it, and that's where I needed to
So my
review
point
it.
that I'm making as a taxpaying citizen and you are a counselor, that's where some of your time should be spent in researching the bylaws.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks for that. Anything else? All right,
Oh, I will before you call it. So everybody knows there's a strike in on town?
oh, yeah, the, school board?
Yeah, with the strike, so, I've had 5 or 6 comments regarding my fence, my property, blah, blah, blah. I've had no issues with those people whatsoever. I went over, talked to them. They're polite, they understand. I even went as far as saying, I don't care if you want to pick it, that's up to you, just stay off my property.
Well, I can blame it.
Then coming back
So-
to the signs, I do not want any of your signs on my property. Give Karen the
I
sign
believe
back.
Donna's talked to the school board about that.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been in touch with the school board, the superintendent, I had a lengthy conversation yesterday. When you texted me this morning about the signs, Councilor Tracy, I didn't want to put too much on a text, so I'm glad it's coming up tonight. So, so I can say it in public, right? So, the first call to him was, as soon as I noticed, and Andrew and I had a conversation about the fact that they were, going across the crosswalk when the lights were on, walking the kids across, and stopping to put signs on people's windshields. Oh, I know, some young child's gonna get killed. So I talked to Norm, and, he said, oh, that can't happen. I said, that's right. I said, they have a right to picket, they have a right to be there. I don't want them walking the kids across the street, and I said, I can't tell them that, but you can. Because as a CEO, I have to be careful, because our union can, leave in solidarity if we seem to be interfering in the strike. So our staff of the union can leave in solidarity and go there too. So, the second thing was, when they left at 11:45, they put all the signs in the flower pot on the corner. I told the superintendent again, I said, can't do it. A, they never asked permission, but B, it's our property, and I don't want them to leave their signs there. It's not appropriate. He said, on it, went down to HR. Now, I haven't looked tonight if the signs are in the flower pot. I
They're
don't
gone,
think
there's
they're.
only 2 standing, but they're on private property
Yeah.
that have been permission skipped.
That's fine. And so, yeah, I was on it all yesterday because of that, that's all we need, the child killed in that crosswalk, right? When I came through Leduc this morning, early this morning, by the high school there, everybody was on the corners of Black Gold Drive and 50th, and you couldn't get around the corners. Like, they would go back and forth on the crosswalk, there were kids trying to get there. Oh, yeah, it was a nightmare, the old high school. And, I did say to the superintendent, I said, even though the union may believe it's 52nd Street, it's actually Alberta Highway 778. So picketing, is different, and there's different rules, to the highway.
Secondary hire.
It is an Alberta secondary highway, yeah,
Oh, 'cause
so,
it goes straight.
And I know
Yeah.
Dayon had conversations.
yeah, and Dayon was there with them all today. He just stopped to say hi, which that's his role. And he said, yeah, you guys are doing a good job, but he said, you know, you can't help the kids across, and just remember, because they're parked on private property there, there's 3 rows of them there in that lot that's not theirs. He said, I can't force you off, we haven't had a complaint, which we haven't from that landowner, but Dayon said, as soon as he complains, you have to remove your vehicles forthwith, not an hour, 2 hours, not 4 whip. So I'm just letting you know, so that when I come here and say, move, you've got to move. And it's quite a good conversation with them. So they have a right to picket and they have a right to do what they need to do, but it's got to be safe. So that's what we've been working with. So that's why I was a little short with you on my text, but I didn't want to. I could say more in public, right? So the school board's been great. And I think they've been great too, because we forged a really good relationship with them through all the water main breaks and through everything we've done with them. So they're very responsive, the board, and they're very appreciative to help us. And in fact, as an added thing tonight, in Public Works Week, I suggested to the superintendent that we bring our equipment over to the elementary school, and we bring our barbecue and wieners and hot dogs, and then the kids all come up for lunch. We'll cook them lunch, and they can look at the equipment, and they can draw chalk in the buckets, and they're very receptive to that this year. So that's pretty exciting too. So elementary school kids, and we don't even have a pile of dirt over there that Rick can show off in the Bobcat that we'll rope off. And I'm just kidding. We'll bring the new truck over.
They don't bring the truck.
No, they'll be drawing on it, right? So anyways, that's it. So it's been a busy week already. What day is it?
Tuesday. Exhausted last night after Monday.
Oh, yeah,
So are all the teachers on strike or just the eight?
no, it's
The
the eight.
Just the
It's the eight. And what's happening is that, Calmar went to Devon today to picket. So we had a lot more people today picketing, so they grouped together. Leduc had, I don't know, there was just tons of people in Leduc today. Today we had more because I think we had Warburg with us today, or with them picketing today, and I think Breton came down to picket too. So tomorrow there could be less, I don't know, but they certainly, we want to be respectful because under bargaining and labor act, I have to be very, very, very careful. And, because I really didn't want all my staff team to go out and start picketing. So anyways, I didn't want to be charged with a labor board infraction. So anyways, we're working the problem.
Part B to my conversation regarding the strikers, I informed them that I've got dogs on there. And if my dog jumps that 6-foot-high fence and bites you, that's your problem. It's not a funny matter because there's legalities attached to it, Daryl. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I went to the person that was in charge of everything. She went out there when everybody pulled up. She made a point of saying, limits what you're saying, talking, trying to get people on to the horns, like on my side of the boulevard.
Right.
So like very, very respectful. My wife attends those ETA meetings and she helps out the schools as well. So they've been really, really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good responses.
And maybe just add on that so that you understand how we've been talking to them as well. We have some complaints that we should charge them for stunting because they're asking honk your horn and all that. And of course, stunting in the Provincial Traffic Safety Act means anything that would distract a motor vehicle operator from driving properly. So, you know, if you're honking your horn, if they're getting you to honk your horn, you're not paying attention. And so Dan and I had a long conversation about it, I think it was this morning. And he went back, he's very good. He went back and he said to them, absolutely, if you lay a complaint that a vehicle has come by and honked its horn, and
No, it was flipping them off.
Flipping them off.
flipping them off the
Because
horn
they wanted them to
Yeah,
honk.
they want you to honk.
They want you to honk, they don't want you to flip them off.
and the horn. And so what he said to them all as well is he said, you're holding up a sign that says honk your horn. Do I charge you as well with stunting? Because he could. So anyways, they got the message. So they wanted people arrested, you're right, Cindy, for giving them the finger. They were insulted and they felt it was harassment. So Dan and I went to the criminal code under harassment. There's 9 things under the criminal code of harassment. That is following someone from place to place, stealing their tools, sitting outside their place of residence, waiting for them, interfering with their workplace. I can't remember the other 2. I never can remember the other 2, but none of that fit the definition of criminal harassment.
The thing is, most of these days, everybody knows,
Yeah.
we know who they are, and
I'm amazed they're out picketing.
yes, I mean, they're your neighbors and and.
Usually when teachers get out on strike, you never seen one of Thorsby ever.
So
They went in.
I'm
We're trying to
surprised.
go to Edmonton. If I went to Edmonton, the biggest.
I guess if you're in the union tells you to do it,
Yep.
I guess you have to do it.
Well, if you don't do it, you don't get
You
paid.
don't get paid, correct?
56, 52 strike pay
You don't
per
get
day.
much. But if you don't pick it and you don't go to work, you don't get
Pretty
paid.
well half their daily wage.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is
In a lot of cases, that is that, I agree.
Well, that's what Canada Post, when they were on strike, they were on strike for a month.
Yeah.
And they all got their $56 a day, and that's it, and they got nowhere.
So that's it, if my sidewalks aren't cleaned by these, it's because of the damn union workers. I
I
can't get my Bobcat out there to clean it.
don't walk on sidewalks in town.
That's right, stop walking down the
I
main street.
drive.
That's good discussion, I like this, it's very good discussion.
Okay,
I find you just have to be fair with people, people will be good with you. And the key, like you say, Donna, you gotta talk, if you don't talk and you start rumors and you start yipping and yapping, that's where shit starts.
Yeah.
So, pardon my English, but that's the truth.
I agree.
okay, well, thank you. So, I'm gonna call a recess here at 8:39 for 10 minutes, and we'll come back in camera. Thank you.